Hello and welcome to another video. Thank you so much for stopping by. If you're new to my channel, my name is Ani and today's video, of course you've guessed it, is going to be an unboxing. Once again, I purchased more books and guess what? I am not ashamed of it. I rarely purchase new books. You already know if you watch my channel that I always buy used books. I like buying used books. They're a lot cheaper and of course they need a new home. So they come home with me. And this is like the only time, other than the Amazon Prime Day sale, this is like my, second box of books that I bought this year. So I think considering that, I'm doing pretty good. And this box is actually from BookOutlet, which I haven't even shopped there since 2020. And I bought like very little books at that time. So yes, this time I did buy more books only because, I started a BookTube and pretty much the only excuse. Like I said, I don't usually buy new books. They tend to be old. So of course these were on sale and therefore it's here. It says, warning, may contain awesome books. That is so cool. First book I have here is Good Girl, Bad Blood by Holly Jackson. This is the second book of the A Good Girl's Guide to Murder series. And the reason I have the second book and I haven't read the first one yet, I try to buy a series together. That way I can just binge read it if I do like it. And I did kind of read a few pages and I was actually liking it. So I just decided to go ahead and get the second book. So this is about, the series is actually about a girl, a senior girl in high school is murdered by her boyfriend. The boyfriend kills himself and no one really knows what happened and the case goes cold. 5 years down the road, another girl, a senior in high school, decides that, she's going to study the cold case as her senior project and find out what did happen. So it sounded super intriguing. That's why I got the first book and I decided to just, go ahead, get the second one as well. The next book I got is Firekeepers Daughter by Angeline Boley. And I've been meaning to get this book for so long. I finally have it. And the cover is just so beautiful. I absolutely love it. So this is about a girl who is biracial. Her dad is Native American and mother is white. And she never really fit into either part of the world. And something happens, a tragedy happens to her family. And she tries to, she goes undercover to investigate like what did happen. So this is a YA mystery thriller. And I believe there is like a Netflix TV show or movie, something like that, coming out pretty soon. So I'm like super excited to read this one. Next book I got is This Poison Heart by Kailyn Barron, and this is a YA contemporary fantasy. It's about a girl who is, she has like the ability to grow anything from seeds just using her mind and hands. So of course there's like magic and, greenery. And of course, if you know me, I love anything that has to do with like plants. So of course I was going to pick this book up and read it. It sounds really super interesting and I love the cover and I love purple is one of my favorite colors. So that was another thing like gravitated me toward that book. It's like, this is just beautiful. All right, the next two books I have is part of a duology and it's by the same author. It is called Sky Hunter and the second book is Steel Striker. And I didn't even notice this. Look at this. It's a Steel Striker. That is so cool. And I love the covers, by the way. Once again, purple and pink. So this is a YA sci-fi fantasy and about a girl, her journey through a war, fighting for freedom. And, this book is very dark. There's mutants and like I said, YA sci-fi fantasy. It was very good. I read this earlier this year. I really liked it. I wanted to have the copies because I had borrowed these from the library and of course I had to return them. So I wanted to have my own copies and Marie Lu's writing I actually like. I read her Legend series and those were really good as well. The next two books I have here are part of a series and it's of course by the same author and it's called Finlay, Donovan is Killing It, and the second one is Finlay, Donovan Knocks Him Dead by El Cosmano. The story goes, a young divorcee with 2 kids and no money, and she's a writer with a deadline, is accidentally been mistaken for a hitman. So goes her story. Sounded so interesting and funny to me. It is a adult mystery humor. Yeah, I just wanted to read this book because it sounded so like interesting and funny to me. The next book I got is Reckless Girls by Rachel Hawkins, and this is about a bunch of people being stuck on an island and mysteriously getting murdered. It even says up here they're dying for an escape. So sounded really interesting, and of course this is a psychological mystery thriller, and yellow book covers are always my favorite. Speaks summer to me. And of course then you got the hibiscus on top of it. Even though, you know, it's almost end of summer, I figured I want to still read this book because in Texas, summer is until November. So yeah, I got time. The next book I got is The Taking of Jake Livingston, and there's a Target sticker on this. Did Bookoutlet go buy this from Target and then ship it to me? It's weird, but anyway, it is about a boy, an 11th grader named Jake Livingston. He is being haunted by the ghost of a school shooter. So that sounded really interesting to me. It is a YA social thriller, so I want to see what this book is about. Well, the next book I got is The Toll by Neil Shusterman, and this is the third book of the side series. And I have the first two, haven't read it yet because I'm actually saving it for when I get into a reading slump, because I hear people say it's a perfect book to read if you're, you know, going through reading slump. So another reason, you know, I got this, of course, I like to have all my series together, at least a couple of them. That way I can just binge read it. Anyway, so this is about two teenagers are chosen to be apprenticed to a scythe, and they must master the art of taking life. Of course, this is a YA sci-fi fantasy, so super interesting, and I probably will read this pretty soon now that I have all three books. The next book is Tokyo Ever After by Emiko Jean, and there's another Target 20% off sticker on it. This is so weird. But yeah, it's also Reese's YA book club pick, I guess. So this is about a Japanese American teenager who finds out she's actually a princess and daughter of a crown prince in Japan. Sounded so interesting to me. I cannot wait to read this one because yeah, just sounded really interesting. Next book I have here is one I was so excited for, but now I'm very disappointed. It is Parable of the Sower by Octavia E. Butler. So you know, I got the fledgling, and I'm loving this cover. So I decided to get, you know, I wanted to get Parable of the Sower and Parable of the Talent. That way I have the entire set. However, look at this. What is this? This is like severely damaged. Oh my goodness. I am so disappointed. This is unacceptable. Yeah, the packaging of Bookoutlet was not superb. So I would say that this book, yeah, is gonna go back because this is unacceptable. I'm sorry. Like, if I pay full price for a book, I want a good book, not this. Like, you have to make sure the packaging is good. There are a few other books I noticed that the dust jackets were having some tears going on. So anyway. All right, so this book, of course, talks about climate change and social inequalities. And of course, this is a sci-fi. That's what Octavia E. Butler writes about. And I believe this was written in '93, but the book is, you know, in the future, year 2025, which is not very far away for us. So another reason I was intrigued by it, and it is, you know, part of a series of a duology. All right, the next four books I have here are part of a series, and again, it's by the same author. These were free, so I got to choose my books, so I chose a Patternist series. So the first book is Wild Seed by Octavia E. Butler. The second one is Mind Up My Mind, and the third one is Clay's Ark, and the fourth one is pattern master. A Wild Seed is about a couple's difficulties of being immortals and inherent loneliness of, you know, watching everyone that they know die. Mind of My Mind is about a young woman harnessing her newfound powers and fighting this ruthless man that has like control over her. Clay's Ark is about two men, a geologist and an astronaut, returning home from a mission carrying alien disease on themselves. Pattern Master is about a young boy who is a patternist but finds out that he's actually a pattern master. So this is a coming of age story, and of course all these 4 books, patternist series, they are all of course going to be sci-fi, as that's what Octavia E. Butler writes. Alright, the last 2 books I have here are Adulthood Bright by Octavia E. Butler. Again, this is the second book of the Lilith's Brood series. In my last video, last book haul, I mentioned I got Dawn, the first one, because they're just so beautiful, and I do plan on rereading them. And then, of course, the third one is Imago. So, look at how beautiful these books are. I just absolutely love the cover. So, this is about a young woman who's been kidnapped by an alien race and among other humans because the Earth has been distracted by nuclear wars. So years down, you know, the aliens wake them up and tell them that there's an agenda for them. So we're following Lilith's story and, of course, you know, learning about this alien race. It is, of course, a adult sci-fi and sci-fi fantasy, and it's very interesting. Like I said, I do plan on rereading them. Hence the reason I got the books. Plus, you already know how much I love Octavia E. Butler. So this is all for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. Give me a thumbs up, leave me comments down below, and as always, subscribe to my channel, and come see me again soon. Until next time, please take care.